Welcome to Willow Healing Matters, the podcast. We are so excited to have you joining us on this journey where we explore different ways to empower your soul, whether it's healing in your kitchen or all the way up in the corporate world. Come with us as we look into different ways to heal your mind, body, and soul. Hey, beautiful souls. Thanks for tuning in to Willow Healing Matters. Before you go any further, if you're someone that loves stories, loves getting involved in the deepness, and wants to reflect and talk to somebody and be part of a community where you can dive deeper into books, why not come and check out my book obsession, where you'll get sneak previews to chapters of my upcoming books, as well as reflection posts so that you can go deeper into the novel. Because it is not the beginning of a story, it is where the story begins within you. So if you'd like to know more, check out mybookobsession.substack.com, and you can check out even some early chapters from my virtual obsession, which is out in stores now. So if you'd like to find out more, again, it's mybookobsession.substack.com, and enjoy the upcoming show. Hey everyone, it's Catherine Crestani with another episode of Willow Healing Matters, and today I am joined by the lovely Amber Briggle. Amber Briggle is the CEO of Be Well Enterprises and the founder and owner of Soma Massage Therapy, a multi-award-winning business and the nation's most exciting new franchise opportunity. Amber became a massage therapist in 2004 and began Soma Massage Therapy in 2011. Through tenacity and determination, she has literally built and rebuilt, thanks to the pandemic, a thriving massage therapy business and a promising new franchise brand. During the pandemic, Soma was ordered to close. Many therapists resigned due to the various strains put on families due to the pandemic, and by the time we reopened, Amber's staff was 13 therapists and it had dwindled to only 4 people, and she had to close her satellite location entirely. More determined than ever, Amber found her way to keep her business from closing permanently, and through tenacity, focus, and creativity, she was able to successfully rebuild her business only 14 months after initially closing, opening in a new location with 7 treatment rooms, a current staff of 24 massage therapists, and 4 front desk staff members, and gross revenues exceeding $1 million annually. So Soma Massage Therapy has consistently won awards year after year, and Amber is incredibly proud of the reputation Soma has as being a people-first business. Amber has learned that when she operates from a place of value, ethics, compassion, and respect, her business can withstand the test of time. So a big welcome to the show, Amber.
Thank you, Catherine, for having me. I'm really excited to chat with you today.
And I feel you have been through such a lot, through having to close your doors, to rebuilding the business almost from scratch again, right? When you get to that point, you have to close your doors. What was that journey like for you? And in terms of, I guess, having to find yourself through all of that?
Yeah, I mean, talk about trial by fire, right? So I had been a massage therapist, as you read in my, my very lengthy bio, for a number of years. I graduated from massage school in 2004, moved around the world, lived in Europe for a spell. Now I live in the Dallas area. I'm moving to Sweden this summer. So I've kind of worked all around the world. And when I started growing my business, when we moved to Denton in about 2009, it took off very quickly. And I tried thinking of ways that I could continue to scale up my business and this healing modality, which I was seeing was bringing so much healing and comfort and wellness and grounding to my clients. Wanted to just continue to scale that up without burning myself out in the process, right? Because there's only so much time in the day, only so much energy in my hands. I had a small child. I wanted to grow my family. So I wanted to have that work-life balance like we all do. And that's when I started thinking about, maybe I would hire somebody to join my growing team. And then when she got busy, I hired another and another. Realized that was no longer sustainable, working out of my home, having all these people come in 7 days a week when I had, now at this point, 2 small children at home. So we moved out to our first brick and mortar, and we were really doing very well until COVID hit. And then that's really when I had everything. We all know we were all affected by it. You're in Australia, I'm in Texas. Like globally. We were all affected by it. We were all just trying to figure it out. A lot of businesses struggled and didn't survive during that time. And that's truly no fault of their own. That's just the nature of the pandemic. But I was really, really determined because I could see the benefits of massage therapy and the benefits that we were providing at Soma Massage Therapy specifically to our clients. And I could not, I was going to do anything I possibly could to keep that from failing entirely. Now I really only have one massage therapist from the before times. Pretty much everyone quit. I had to start all over. But what I learned during that time is basically what works. Like, it was a good opportunity to just take out the trash, emotionally, physically, personally, professionally, just take out the trash, clear the slate, start all over. And what's always worked well for my clients, whether I was a solo practitioner or a business owner or now a CEO and a franchisor, is obviously, especially in this industry, the people come first. We're literally touching people. People are our product. And the moment you start cheapening that and chasing the profits and forgetting the purpose behind what it was that brought me to this in the first place, is the moment that the whole brand and reputation just evaporates. And so, especially during COVID, when everyone just wanted to feel safe. We just want to know we were being taken care of. And if I could just really double down on making sure that I was creating as safe of an environment as I possibly could, not only for our clients, but for our employees as well, being really transparent about that, encouraging people, to come take care of themselves. And this is what we're doing to keep you safe, while simultaneously, and we can talk about this later, creating a series of online self-care videos for people who didn't feel comfortable leaving the house yet, but still wanted to find a way to care for themselves, right? If I could just continue to nurture people and be really clear about what it was I was doing to keep them safe, hopefully then the people would then nurture the business. And that's really what happened. So we closed in March of 2020. We reopened 2 months later in May of 2020, because in Texas, there wasn't really a pandemic. So we just kept going on. In March of 2020, we reopened in our same location. In May of 2021, we opened in the location that we're currently in now, which is downtown, twice the size, twice the capacity, about twice the team. And by 2022, we were grossing over $1 million a year. And that's really what made me realize that Soma was really something special, which is now why we're franchising, because I really want to continue to scale up this healing modality to reach as many people as I possibly can, again, without burning myself out. So it was, I never want to go through that again. It was awful. It was horrible, like 0 stars, like do not recommend. But what I learned about myself and what makes Soma Massage Therapy uniquely strong in this massage industry was really sort of like cultivated in a deeper way during the pandemic. And now we're, we see over 1,000 people a month at our main office downtown. Like, imagine now if we had 1,000 locations nationwide, how many more people we could heal.
And internationally.
No. And internationally, why not? I mean massage too, absolutely.
They do. And I actually love, Amber, what you mentioned when you had to start again, but why not actually do it this time with what you knew worked and what didn't? Yeah. Because being a past business owner of like a big allied health practice, I understand exactly what you mean, because there's aspects that you're like, I wish I could change that, but we're too far into it. Whereas when as painful as it was that you got to start from scratch, you got to go, no, actually, what is our main focus? And it needs to be around the people. And I truly love that too. And I love serendipities, but just yesterday I was having a conversation with someone and I said, how was your massage today? And she, last week, and she said, she goes, it was the best massage, but that person had no client care, didn't ask me questions, didn't ask for feedback, didn't ask if I'd had a massage before, my past history or anything. She goes, so even though I felt so much better afterwards, I'm not going back because I didn't feel seen and I didn't feel heard. So I love that you've created this franchise as well as this massive culture of putting the people who come in first, which is such a beautiful way.
The people are our product. And again, if you take care of the people, they'll take care of the business. But if you're chasing the profits, no one's going to feel, they can go get a massage anywhere, right? Just like your friend got a massage and just didn't feel cared for. So like, well, I'm not coming back. So I don't want that. I don't want that for our clients. Yeah.
100%. And what have you found is one of the biggest pitfalls, I guess, when people are starting to work and take on the franchise? And what has been one of the hardest things that you've had to almost drill into people? That's the question that I have in my head. I don't know if that's what keeps coming through.
You're asking specifically about franchises?
Well, just in general, because you've built this beautiful business and gotten bigger, what has been some of the biggest challenges that you've had to face?
Well, besides COVID,
Yes, besides COVID.
it's never really smooth sailing for any small business owner, right? Like there's always, you think you have it all covered and then something's not covered in your insurance policy. And you're like, well, shoot, that's $15,000. I wasn't expecting, you know what I mean? Like you think you have it all covered. And then there's like mean girl drama happening that you don't know about it until, you know what I mean? Like there's always going to be something, unfortunately, just like there is in any job or anything that you're doing in your life. Like you think you've got it under control and then life throws you under the bus. I think the benefits of franchising, though, are that I've figured out a lot of these pitfalls over my 20 plus year career as being both a massage therapist and a business owner and an entrepreneur. So, if any of your listeners are interested in starting, starting their own business, being really fully immersed in this world of wellness. I mean, there's a million. I'd love to talk with you as a Soma Massage Therapy franchisee, but there's a million different brands out there that you can choose from, and I think franchising is it just makes so much sense because the road's been paved for you. The pitfalls those potholes have been filled and those speed bumps have been smoothed to make it much easier for you. There's always challenges that come with anything that you do, but I think being part of that franchise team and having the kind of that tried and true leadership that's made our brand such a successful brand today is, I think, a big benefit. Yeah, I mean, I could talk about what are the pitfalls of, hiring a massage therapist or, the challenges, right? What are the challenges of, like just managing your week day to day and figuring out your calendar and getting your kids to school while you still have to run payroll. Like it's always a challenge, but being part of a franchise, I think, kind of minimizes a lot of those challenges too. Yeah.
Well, it's almost you've created your own network and community within the business itself, right? And I often, as being a past business owner myself, sometimes you just feel really alone, like you have no one to talk to or talk the problems out with because they haven't been in your shoes. Like you said, they don't understand what it's like to be a mum and juggling the phone and juggling, like a staff member's decided to call in and not take responsibility, or just not show up. That was my favorite. And I get a call from the client. Hey, my therapist isn't here and the door's locked. I'm like, okay.
That's not what I had on the schedule for today. Yeah.
Exactly. But things
happens, right? Yeah. But then knowing how to solve those problems in real time, right? Like we have a whole ops manual for our franchisees. So like, hey, your therapist called out sick 5 minutes before the client was supposed to get here. What do you do? Hey, you've got 2 couples massages tonight, and one of the therapists is not going to be able to make it because their kid has the flu. What do you do? And being able to like have like that community, like that guidebook, that blueprint, it's never easy, but it hopefully makes it easier. So you're not guessing in real time how to problem solve. Yeah.
Yes. I have to say, and it's always nice, I'm just reflecting on my time, it'd be nice to have had that manual in that point of time. Yes,
I agree. Also same, like, because I was the one figuring out, like, what are my blind spots? Like, I don't know it until it hits me in the face. I'm like, well, shoot, now I've got to figure this out, right? And it's taken me 20 years of mistakes, but also 20 years of leadership to have built Soma literally with my bare hands, literally twice through a global pandemic to now be grossing well over $1 million a year. That's just at our main location. We have got a satellite office now too and a chiropractic clinic. So between the 2 locations, we see over 1,000 clients a month, over $1 million we gross a year. That makes me think that there must be something there. So let me write it down for you so that you can do something similar in or Sweden or Florida or like anywhere. How can we duplicate the success to continue to provide that healing touch to as many people as possible while simultaneously providing opportunities for really generational wealth, for our franchisees. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I feel it's really amazing what you've created too, Amber, is because like you said, you could only see so many people and you've only got so much energy in your hands.
Yeah.
And being a healer, caregiver, body worker, it doesn't matter what, a light worker, it doesn't matter. If you don't look after yourself, you end up in that burnout spiral.
Yep.
And I can say that was me, and you end up in this cycle of trying to pull yourself out. And I know that's something really passionate that you're passionate about, is making sure self-care for yourself, but then also those that come under your umbrella.
Absolutely. And I can relate to a lot of that too, right? Because I wasn't a franchise entity. I was figuring it out on my own. And so while I was building this now $1 million business, I had two tiny children at home, itty bitties. And so I'm managing the pressures of motherhood while trying to simultaneously hire massage therapists when no one had heard of my business, and then marketing to clients who like don't, first off, may not understand the benefits of massage, and then when they do understand the benefits of massage, don't understand what makes Soma Massage Therapy head and shoulders above the rest, right? So I was doing it all. I was doing all of it. Simultaneously, I was also at that time early on working also as a massage therapist. And so I was working on the business and in the business. And I was working truly, oh my gosh, probably like, 16, 18-hour days consistently with two kids at home. Right. And so, and how much I actually envy franchisees today being able to be given this guidebook, this blueprint. You don't have to be a massage therapist to own a massage studio. Like the person who owns, the Great Clips, the haircutting place down the street, is a balding dad of two kids, right? Like he just owns the business. He doesn't know the first thing about style or haircuts. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a massage therapist to own a massage brand. But what you do have to be is a hard worker who's interested in this wellness, wanting to care for yourself so that you can model that and care for others, right? And just knowing that you don't have to do all of it alone, because shoot, I did. You can relate to that. You did it all alone. How do you solve problems in real time? How do you have a life outside of work if you're constantly doing literally all of it by yourself? It's a lot.
I didn't have a life. And I used to say to people, I work 24/7, because even in my sleep, I would be woken up and have all the to-do list, and I was managing staff, and I didn't have admin because I was determined I would do it all by myself. And then I had a son as well. It's just, exactly. It gets really overwhelming. And I could see that I had to step back and step out of it. And I could see all of that, but it was really, really difficult to get yourself out of that spiral when you've already sucked yourself so deep into
Yeah.
it. And then every time I stepped back, I got more pushback. And it was a really interesting journey, to the point that I just got to the point, I don't want to do this stuff anymore because it wasn't lighting me up anyway. And I just sold my business. So, yeah.
I moved on.
And moved on.
And now you know what works for the next business venture. Like sometimes you just have to say no to things before you can say yes to some things. So you figured it out. It's part of the journey. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And it was like, and then unpacking the fear of like, oh, hang on, I'm starting a new business. Oh no, but I don't have to do it the same way. I don't have to do it again. And it's also a completely different field, but at the same time, it's still around people and still around, connecting with people on that deeper level.
Yeah, exactly. Good for you. Yeah.
What is some of the new challenges that you found of keeping that balance, as, looking after yourself and not stepping into, I find it's really hard not to default to the way it used to be, where you're like, oh, I have to work harder and I have to do more hours. Mm-hmm. Whereas, in your heart that that's not going to honor that. So what's some practices that you would recommend to anybody?
Yeah. Okay. So I just want to make this clear. So this is dropping at some point in the spring, but we're recording this currently in January. As of January, I have not yet awarded a franchise. We're still very early in this process. We're available for franchising, but have not yet awarded that. And so I can't speak specifically to the challenges of, leading a team of franchisees alongside me, because I don't have them yet. Hopefully by the time this airs, I'll have 100, but not yet in January. What I can tell you what I'm doing in the meantime, though, to build that foundation, right? So I have a solid management team at our main office downtown. I have 2 managers, marketing director, and then 2 more part-time front desk assistants. I'm going to hire another one because I'm seeing that my management team already is kind of at capacity. And once we start bringing franchisees on board, I want that management team to be accessible to answer questions for them in real time as well. I told you at the start, I'm moving to Sweden this summer. My husband got a job there. My son's going to college. He's going to head off to college in Ireland. My daughter's going to be starting high school. It seems like a really perfect opportunity for us to leave Texas and try something new. I can't, I will be still available for calls and emails and texts and Zooms. And, I'll be coming back to the United States, 4 or 5 times a year to check in on things. But I'm not going to be just down the street. And I want my management team to be able to keep an eye on things, visit other studios and make sure that they're still adhering to our brand standards while being available during regular business hours to answer those types of questions. And that was always the plan, even before we decided to move to Sweden. That was always the plan. Is I know that I cannot manage 100 or hopefully eventually someday 1,000 franchisees across the country. I need a team for that. And what is so great about this model that we've built is that I have a franchise coaching, a franchise coach who works with me on a weekly basis for sure. Sometimes more often if I need him to hop on a call. And he's helped me kind of anticipate what's coming down the way so that I'm not just knocked flat on my feet. I'm able to anticipate that we're going to be seeing this growth, right? So I think and this would be advice I'd give to truly anyone, whether you're in business or stay-at-home mom or whatever it is, find that support team. You cannot do it all by yourself. You cannot do it all by yourself. I know you feel pressured to do it all by yourself, but you can't. You're burning yourself out. You're not sleeping. Your hair is falling out. You're putting on weight. When was the last time you had a glass of water or took a walk, right? And when was the last time you did these things on a regular basis? So finding that support team at work, I spend some money on my management team. I want to pay them well so that they want to come to work and stick around, right? Like value your people and the people will value your business. If it's something personal, find that supportive friend who can watch the kids for 2 hours a week while you just take a walk and have some downtime, right? And then trade with her. And so she can have the same, finding even just once a month, just an opportunity to gather with friends or, order your groceries for delivery. You don't have to go to the store. It's okay. Like, what are some things that you can do to support you and make your life as easy as possible so that you can be your best self at the things that you're doing? And that's really what I've done here at Soma's. I've hired this fantastic front desk team. They keep the ship steady, and they're also prepared to help lead the franchisees. That comes with me adding more people to the front desk so that the people in these leadership positions have a little more free time to start managing these franchises when they come our way. So, yeah.
Yeah. And that's such a beautiful point because, you can't be everywhere at once. And, having people that you truly trust and can rely upon, and like you said, are rewarded for that is really, really powerful too. And if anyone's listening going, but how can I afford that? How long does it take you to train somebody to get them to the standard that you want? And if they left, how much of your time and energy would it take to replace them? And also to get them to the quality and level that you had before. So whenever I had a therapist leave, my background is a speech language pathologist. So if I ever had a therapist leave, I'd want them leaving because they were going to go start their own practice, not because they weren't happy. So it was really finding that balance, like you said, of valuing the people. And people feel that when they walk in, they feel the energy of the space and they feel, actually, I feel seen, I feel heard, and someone's answering the phone whenever I call, and to take that responsibility off you and have that support network around you, 100% what you said. And even, exactly, as a mum, as business owner, even as an employee, you still need to be in a supportive environment. And if you don't feel seen in your workplace, maybe it's time to move on and find another place that sees you or start your own business.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
The best money I ever spent on my business was hiring my front desk team because I did it, Catherine. I did it all. We've talked about this. Like, I'm sure so many of your followers can relate to this because so at At my studio, we pay our massage therapists per project. So they only get paid if they have someone on the table. I'm not asking them to like sweep hallways and scrub toilets and fold sheets in between sessions. Like if you don't have anyone on your table, sit your butt down, have a granola bar, check your Twitter feed, and then come back to work when you've got someone, right? And so that meant that I knew that I was always going to have money for payroll because I'm paying them when there's someone on the table. I really worried about what happens if I hire someone at the front desk. Like, can I still make payroll? Because they're not, they don't, I have to pay them per hour, regardless of how busy we are. Listen, that was the best money I ever spent because if I'm busy doing HR, payroll, marketing, for a long time, I was also the massage therapist, right? And I'm unavailable to answer that phone and your back is killing you and I don't answer that phone, you're calling the next place and you're going to be seen by them. And I'm going to miss out on the opportunity to see you here at Soma. And so when we moved into this beautiful location that we're at now, we were much more visible. And I realized I was going to need to have someone sitting at that front desk during business hours. And I kind of freaked out because I was like, how am I going to manage this? And they were the best. That was truly the best investment, is just having someone answering the phone. Soma Massage Therapy. This is Jordan. How can I help you? Like, we're constantly there. We're able to answer in real time. Like I said, it just showed because within, the next year of us moving into that location where I then hired that front desk team, we were grossing $1 million a year. So I know it looks like it's going to be an expense, but think about the investment truly that you're making. When I chose to franchise, I ended up giving our now general manager, she was basically my assistant GM at the time, I gave her a big raise because I was like, you're in charge now. I'm going to go franchise the hell out of this, right? So call me if you need me. And I kind of freaked out because I was like, wow, like I freaked out. I always freak out. That's the thing when I do about money. I freaked out, but then I was like, wait a second. I just gave myself a big promotion because now I'm the CEO of a national franchise brand, right? And I can put my energy on the horizon and see where we're going. And our GM can manage the day-to-day and deal with, what happens when a therapist calls out sick and whatnot. So I don't have to spend my bandwidth on that. I can think of the big picture. So it's worth it. I know it's scary. It's scary when you're adding someone to your team or when you're spending more money for the support, but think about how much more it's going to free up your energy to do the things that really matter. Invest in yourself. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. And it's investing in the business that you want to see too, right? You want to invest in the growth that's coming rather than being stuck in this smaller energy of like, oh no.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and I can contest to this. I've had two businesses. My first business, we did end up hiring like front desk staff and a manager. And the manager, oh my goodness, she was worth her weight in gold. When we hired her, in contrast to the person that was previously in her position, she got all the work done in like half a day instead of a week. And we were sitting there going, what? We can give you more? We're like, what is this?
Yes, please.
Yes, please. And she was very much on top of the staff's well-being and everything like that. And in contrast, because I was like, no, I don't want to deal with that. I want a smaller thing. And then my team exploded and I was still doing it all myself. And it was just exhausting. So from someone that has lived through both contrasts, I can tell you having that money to invest in the front desk staff is so powerful. It's very, yeah. And as we start to finish our time together, Amber, I asked the guests that come on the show, if you could heal or change something in the world, what would it be?
I live in the United States and things feel really fractured in my country right now. And I think if I could heal or change anything, I would just, Catherine, I wish we could just sit down with a cup of coffee and listen to each other. And just really listen to each other. Listen to people, listen to marginalized people who are feeling scared, brown people, trans people, queer people, like, let's listen to them. And then let's also listen to people who feel left behind and afraid that they can't pay their bills and struggle at the grocery store. And surely there is something in the middle that we can agree on and find some like sliver of common ground that we can build a bridge to understanding. And I don't know how we get there because it does feel so fractured and scary. right now. But if I could change anything, it would just be an open heart and a listening ear and just a little more patience.
And compassion as well, right?
Yeah.
And if people want to come and find you, Amber, or learn how to become part of your franchisees, where can they go?
Thank you for asking. So it's the name of my business is Soma Massage Therapy. Soma is short for somatic. It's SOMA. You can find us online at mysomamassage.com. There is a button at the top about franchising if you're curious about that. If it's not for you, but you know someone for whom this would be a really good fit, please make an introduction. You could possibly change their life for the better. And I'd love to continue to grow this brand coast to coast, and why not internationally? If they become a Soma Massage Therapy franchisee because you introduce me to them, then you will get either $1,000 cash or a year of free massages. So consider that. If you want to find us online, we are on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And you can find us at My Soma Massage on any one of those platforms. Oh, and we have a YouTube channel too. So if you're interested in some self-care videos that I had mentioned at the beginning, very brief, anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes. So, pick your poison. What is it that's bothering you that day? And click on that video. We're also My Soma Massage on YouTube.
Beautiful. And I'll make sure to pop all those details in the show notes as well. So a big thank you, Amber, for your insights into building your business, coming back from scratch, and also finding a way to keep yourself sane and keep yourself in that non-burnout state, in that state of self-care, despite growing your business.
To ask for help.
Expanding.
Yeah. Find that support. Absolutely. Yeah.
100%. Thank you so much, Amber. This has been an absolute delight. Thank you.
Thanks for the time today, Catherine. It was great.
Thank you for listening to Willow Healing Matters, the podcast. We have so much love and gratitude that you have taken the time out of your day to empower you on your healing journey. The views shared by the person being interviewed might not necessarily reflect that of the host and should be used at your own discernment. Trust what resonates for you and follow your heart and soul guidance. If you have any underlying medical conditions or mental health issues, please consult with your healthcare provider before pursuing any of the recommendations. Likewise, you can always contact the person being interviewed to find out more information. This can be found in the show notes. Remember to activate, align, heal, empower, and find love in everything that you do.